You could be using a business credit card right now that's quietly hurting your personal credit and not even know it. Just because it says business on the front doesn't mean it protects you. Some cards build your business profile, others report straight to your personal credit and limit your ability to qualify for larger funding later on. If you don't know the difference, it can cost you approvals. So let's get started. Business credit card works just like a personal credit card mechanically. Revolving credit, a billing cycle, a grace period, and an APR. But what makes it a completely different tool is what it can do for your business and your personal credit at the same time. When you actually understand how these cards actually function and you can use them to access short-term capital, fund inventory, cover operating expenses, and grow your business, all without touching your personal credit utilization or showing up on your personal credit report. The problem is that most business owners don't know the difference between a card that protects them and one that works quietly against them. And that distinction comes down to how the card is actually structured and where it reports. So let's break down how business credit cards actually work, what a personal guarantee really means, and how to use the right structure as a zero-cost funding tool while keeping your personal credit completely clean. So let's start with the foundation, how these cards actually work. A business credit card is tied to a revolving credit account at a bank. When you charge a purchase to your card, the bank pays the merchant and you pay the bank later. You're allowed to borrow up to a set limit, and that's what's called your credit limit. Once you hit that ceiling, you can't charge anything else until you pay down the balance, and it works the same way a personal credit card does, but it's tied directly to your business account, not your personal account. Now here's where the grace period comes in, and this is one of the most important mechanics to understand. When you make a purchase during your billing cycle, you're not charged interest immediately. If you pay your full balance before the due date, you pay zero interest, absolutely none. And that's the grace period, working in your favor. The moment you carry a balance past the due date, interest starts accumulating and it compounds daily. Let me show you exactly how that math works, because this is where a lot of business owners get caught off guard. So let's say you're carrying a $10,000 balance and a 24% annual APR on your card. You divide that 24 by 365 to get your daily interest rate, and that's about 0.0658% per day. Multiplying that by your $10,000 balance, and you're accumulating roughly $6.58 in interest on day one. So your new balance becomes about $10,006.58. Now here's where it starts to compound. On day two, the card issuer doesn't calculate interest on the original $10,000. It calculates interest on the $10,006.58. So now you owe slightly more again. Day three, it applies interest to that new, slightly higher number. Every single day, interest is added to the balance, and the next day's interest is calculated on that growing total. That's compounding interest, and it's the core risk of carrying a balance on any credit card. Now, before we get into the strategy side, you need to understand one more mechanic, the personal guarantee. Most major credit card issuers like American Express, Chase, Capital One require a personal guarantee to small business credit cards. And what that means is if your business doesn't pay the bill, you're personally liable for that debt. The bank could come after you individually to collect. So here's what trips up most people though, is a personal guarantee and credit reporting are two completely separate things. Signing a PG doesn't automatically mean that the card is reporting to your personal credit. Liability and reporting are different functions. A card can hold you personally liable if the business defaults and still report only to the business credit bureaus during its normal use. That distinction matters a lot when we talk about protecting your personal credit profile before you apply for anything on your own. It's worth getting that structure right. Now, I've included a free business credit card funding review link in the description, and it's a soft pull only, so all you're doing is providing a credit report for us to review, and there's no obligation, and it helps you to maximize approvals and avoid any unnecessary denials. So to recap the mechanics real quick, you borrow up to a credit limit, you pay the bank back within that billing cycle, and you pay, before the due date, you pay zero interest. But if you carry a balance and that interest compounds daily at a rate that adds faster than most people expect, And while a PG means you're on the hook if things go wrong, it doesn't determine whether your card activity gets reported. Once you nail these fundamentals, everything else about a business credit card strategically starts to click into place. Now that you understand the mechanics, let's talk about the features that turn a business credit card into a real funding tool, the 0% intro APR offer. Here's what that actually means. For a set promotional period, typically somewhere between 12 and 18 months, no interest accumulates on your purchases. The balance sits there interest-free as long as you're making your minimum payments on time. Basically getting access to a short-term line of credit with zero interest attached to it during that window. The Amex Blue Business Plus is a great example of this. It offers 0% intro APR on purchases for 12 months, which means you can charge real business expenses, inventory, equipment, software subscriptions, operating costs, and carry that balance without paying a single dollar in interest during that promotional period. That's a huge advantage when you're trying to grow your business without taking on expensive debt. Think about what that looks like in practice. Let's say you need $15,000 in inventory and you charge it on day one on your promo period. Divide that 12 months and you're looking at about $1,250 a month to pay it off completely before the interest ever kicks in. So there's no loan application, no origination fee, and no interest costs at all. You funded a real business purchase that you needed, and the only thing it cost you was having a disciplined repayment strategy. Now that's the right way to frame this, as a bridge funding tool. Instead of going to a lender and taking out a high interest loan to cover a large business purchase, you're using cards at 0% window to spread it across several months with zero cost of capital to you. For a business in its early stages, that flexibility is extremely, extremely valuable. Now here's where business owners get caught off guard, and I want to make sure that this doesn't happen to you. When the promotional period ends, that remaining balance starts compiling an interest at the card's standard APR. Not gradually, I'm talking about right away, at the full rate. So if you charge $15,000, paid off $9,000 during the promo window, and still have $6,000 sitting on the card, when the clock runs out, that $6,000 now compounds by the standard rate the very next day. So the strategic rule here is simple. Treat the 0% APR window like a short-term loan with a hard deadline. Map out your payoff plan before you charge anything large. Know exactly how much you need to pay every single month so you pay it off before the APR period closes. One more thing to keep in mind is minimum payments will keep your account in good standing during that promo period, but the minimum payments alone will not pay off the balance before the window closes. You need to be intentional about what you're paying off and not just being reactive with it. The 0% intro APR strategy can be a powerful funding tool, but it's only half the equation. The other half, and honestly, the part that most business owners completely overlook, is where your card activity actually gets reported. Here's how this breaks down. Some business credit cards report activity to your personal credit, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Others report to the business credit bureaus, Dun & Bradstreet, Experian Business, and Equifax Business. Now that single difference determines whether your business credit card helps you or quietly works against you. When a business credit card reports to your personal credit, every balance you carry shows up on your personal credit. And that raises your personal credit utilization, which pulls your FICO score down. But here's why that matters beyond just the number. Any lender evaluating you for a personal mortgage or personal auto loan or maybe a personal line of credit is going to see your business debt sitting on your personal profiles. So while you're running business expenses, your personal credit is the one absorbing the impact, and that's not a trade-off you want to make. Now let's talk about the 3 pitfalls. There's 3 of them I see business owners fall into because each one compounds the problem in a different way. The first is using a personal credit card for business expenses. Every dollar you charge to a personal card makes your personal and business financial expenses together. You're not building a standalone business credit file. You're just adding to your business debt to your personal credit. And when you go to apply for business-only financing down the road, lenders and vendors and suppliers have nothing to evaluate your business on, but they're looking at your personal identity because you never gave your business an identity. The second pitfall is failing to create a clear separation between personal and business credit. And this goes past just having a business credit card. If your business has no credit file of its own, no payment history, no trade lines, no paydex score, it can't qualify for net 30 accounts, vendor credit, or larger business loans on its own merit. Lenders will always look at you, your personal credit, which means your personal profile carries all the risk. The whole point of building business credit is to eventually have your business stand on its own. And that only happens if you're deliberate about creating that separation between you and your personal right from the beginning. The third pitfall, and this one catches people off guard, is acquiring business credit cards that report to your personal credit reports. Just because a business credit card says business on the front doesn't mean it acts like a business credit tool behind the scenes. If it reports to your personal credit, carrying a balance on that card hurts your personal FICO score, the same way a maxed out personal credit card would. You think you're building business credit, but you're actually dragging down your personal profile at the same time. And this is exactly why the American Express Blue Business Plus card is worth mentioning here. It only reports to the business credit bureaus, so when you use it to fund inventory, cover operating expenses, or take advantage of the 0% intro APR for 12 months, during that window we talked about, your personal credit utilization stays completely untouched. Your personal FICO score isn't affected by the balance you're carrying, and every on-time payment you make is building up your business credit profile, which is exactly what lenders and vendors look at when applying for larger business financing later on. That's the long game. You're not just funding today's expenses, you're building a credit identity for your business that opens bigger doors over time. So here's the takeaway from all of this. Business credit cards give you revolving access at a 0% intro APR window you can use as a zero-cost bridge tool, and when you choose the right card, a way to build your business credit file without touching your personal credit profile at all. If you're considering using business credit card funding and want to see what you qualify for, you can start with our free pre-qualification review using the first link in this description. If this video was helpful, hit the like button. It helps more business owners find it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more business credit and funding strategies. And next, watch this video where I break down the 5 things you should never write on a business credit application if you want to avoid getting denied.